So in this video, we're going to talk about EFT finger tapping. And this is a technique that is an easy way to tap anywhere, anytime, even if you're not tapping on all the other points around the head and body. It's a great covert tapping method as it's very discreet. So you can finger tap during a meeting, standing in line at the grocery store, doing a presentation at a big conference, out for a walk with friends, or just sitting watching TV. And another time finger tapping is useful is if you're having trouble falling asleep or having trouble getting back to sleep. So rather than moving around too much, gentle tapping on the finger points yields very good results. Now, if you're a kinesthetic dominant learner as opposed to a visual or auditory learner, this is a great calming technique for fidgety hands, your own built-in fidget spinner. So teach kids this. This is a great method for kids too. And finger tapping can be a very effective method for easily creating a daily habit of tapping, bringing you benefit each day. So while you can use the opposite hand to tap if you'd like, the finger points like this, I suggest using the same hand so that your thumb is tapping on the inside of the fingers. And then you can use your index finger to tap your thumb. Now this may feel a bit awkward at first using the same hand, but with practice, it'll get really easy and will therefore minimize movement and make EFT finger tapping even more discreet. Now, the way I like to do this system is in the previous EFT, when we were using all the tapping on the head and the face and the body, we use that method for taking out the trash, taking out the garbage, taking out the upsetting emotions. And then we were using the karate chop point to put in positive emotions, if you will. So we access that Pavlovian response. Do the same with the fingers. Start with the left hand. Begin by releasing the negative emotions by tapping the finger points on your left hand. Do this as, again, the left side of the body is controlled by the right side of the brain, and the right side of the prefrontal cortex is more associated with negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative self-talk, and avoidance behaviors. Great for moving away from a rattlesnake, but not with procrastination and self-sabotage. So take out the trash, take out the garbage with your left hand. And the points are right here on these fingers. You know, if you see it here, it's right on the inside. If you're to do the stop sign, they're on the inside of the fingers, right? On the inside. So you're tapping on these points, taking out the garbage with your left hand, right? And then, once you've gotten that down to 0, you know, again, we always want to measure, always want to be aware, mindful of the emotional state you're in. So if you become aware that you're upset, you just start tapping. And then when you get that down to 0, fill up your tank, plant your flower garden. Now that you've taken out the trash with your left hand, which is associated with the right side of the brain, fill up your tank, plant your flower garden with the right hand, which is associated with the left side of the brain. Left side of the prefrontal cortex is more associated with positive feelings, positive thoughts, positive self-talk, and moving towards growth and expansion and advancement and health and reward and pleasure. And so by tapping in these two ways, you're setting up that Pavlovian response. We've talked about this before. So neurons that fire together wire together. The millions of neurons my brain is firing for me to tap like this is now being associated with the positive feelings I'm creating, feeling joyful and happy as I recite those affirmations. So I might be saying, you know, I am so awesome, I'm amazing, I feel so great. You'd be doing that right before you go out for a presentation. I am a great speaker. I am going to just be amazing out there. People are going to love what I have to say. I have so much to teach. You know, fill up your tank, plant your flower garden, and eventually become Pavlovian. And just like Pavlov would ring that bell and would change the dog's physiology, literally change their physiology, even though there's no food in the house, they would start salivating because it turned on their digestive system. The same will happen here. You'll just be tapping and you'll start creating those feelings of expansion and growth and awesomeness and happiness and joy and love, whatever you're doing. So take out the trash with the left hand. And again, that's being associated too. That's Pavlovian response. So as you're in a meeting, you'd be concentrating on what's happening in the meeting and taking notes even and tapping because you're feeling a little nervous. And it's just happening. It's doing it on its own because you've neurons that fire together, wire together. And so since you've associated tapping the left hand with taking out the trash and eliminating those emotions of worry and stress and overwhelm, it'll just happen on its own. And then fill up your tank with your right hand. It's a great way. Teach your kids this, teach your friends this. It's super simple. It's a great technique.